Guys, if you are following Liberia TV Network, I'm Princess Katie Kobo. This is I, Honorable Kopo Kwa, the Labour Minister of the Republic of Liberia. Keep following Liberia TV Network. Thank you.
Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been following development at the Ministry of Labor, you must have heard that the ministry or the minister is making a tour of concession areas. Started that tour from the Bea Mountain. We covered the Western Cross. The focus of our tour is basically to look at the working conditions of Liberians. We try to look at equal work for equal pay. We want to also look at opportunities for Liberians in these concession areas. So we have had fairly good information from the two areas we visited. I will touch a little bit of Bea Mountain because they are state documents that they are supposed to provide us, which have they promised to do that today and tomorrow. We want to give all of them a fair chance to make sure that all of the concerns that we raised that are supporting documents who can speak to them. But let me say for example the Bea Mountain. Bea Mountain is a gold mining entity in Grand Cape Mountain County. They do basically underground mining, where you go deep down underground to extract gold. And there are vehicles that drive underground to bring the material on shore. And one of the drivers told me, look, to drive into the place where we get material from, you will go 30 minutes driving and then 30 minutes come. So it takes like an hour to go in and come back. The truck that they use for that part, they call it man truck. The man trucks presently has a number of few Liberian drivers and more Turkish and Zambia drivers. We noticed that the total number of man trucks that they have 60 man trucks. And they have only 15 Liberians driving those trucks, and the rest are driven by Turkish and Zambian. Not only that, but we noticed that the Liberian mine drivers are paid $650 a month. The Zambians are paid $1,650, and the Turkish guys are paid $2,500. They are all doing the same job. And we thought that this is our first warning to them, and that communication is on the way to them. That for those men trucks, one they can be driven by Liberian. We will work with them to reduce that number. I think the foreigners should take the 15 and the Liberians should take the 45. We'll work with them. We want to make sure that this is done. Because these are trucks that Liberian can drive. It's not a complicated equipment that you would need foreigner to drive. And the way we follow that is that, we renew the work permit on an annual basis. So we want to watch their work permit very closely. That we're not going to renew work permit for man driver for foreigner for the next year when they come back to renew. And we want to caution them to use this time to train the drivers. I understand it requires just 2 weeks of training, but we'll give them 3 months before we go back to check how many of them have been trained. But this is important. We want to make sure that Liberians have fair chance to participate in the economy. We think it's not fair. Jobs that can be done by Liberians, we dominate that with foreigners, and Liberians are considered ordinary workers. We also noticed from Bea Mountain that there are simple jobs that Liberians can do, but they consider Liberians regular workers. all of the Liberians, should I say, regular workers. They are supervised. You have a group of Liberian working with a few Gambians. They are simple job like supervisor, foreman, and electrician. There's no Liberian supervisor in Bea Mountain, not one. Supervisor will be to check the attendance to make sure that people come to work, people come on time, they leave on time, and they do their assigned duty. Why would that be so impossible for Liberians to do? And we saw a lot of young fellows, smart fellows, who are capable of doing these jobs. We've appealed to them to look at that very critically. Those are simple jobs. If after operating in Liberia for 10 years, then you say Liberian cannot be supervisor. So again, we talk to them, we engage in them, the conversations are ongoing, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that these results come up. It will be in the interest of their own operation. Number one, if you say, okay, you hire Liberia for man truck, you want to pay them 1,650. Yeah, as a start, we accept that. We accept that. If you have fewer target guys driving, you pay them 2,500, but you have more Liberians making 1,650. That will be a boost to the economic power they will have in that sector. So these are things that we are looking at. Our emphasis, like I said, will be working conditions for Liberians, the opportunities for Liberians to work in their own, participate actively in their own economy. That's what we did in the Bea Mountain. But the report, we say collecting additional information, and there are other technical areas that we are reviewing, that we're looking at, waiting for the document right now. Because you have administrative jobs that we think that should be a transition plan. That's what we need to look at. If you have an accountant who is a Turkish guy, we think that should be an assistant accountant that will be Liberian, so that eventually after some time, that Liberian will take over that job. It can't be a permanent job for foreigners throughout your years of the concession. You cannot do that. So we are working on this with Bea Mountain, and I think pretty well, our conversation seems to be moving in the right direction. And in the next couple of months, we think that we'll come back and talk to you based upon these conversations, how many Liberians have been transitioned in these positions. We'd like to do that. And we also stop over to the Western Cluster. Western Cluster seems to have a very interesting story. And we hope that it will take you from some of the things that we've said today to make a difference. Make some adjustment in what they intend to do in Liberia. Because Western Cluster has a concession, I believe, has about 25 years concession in Liberia to mine in Bea County. And we discovered that only two Liberian employees, two Liberian employees. All of the other employees were given to them by subcontractors. Even the driver that drives the general manager, it was borrowed from we call it a company that does employment. We assign the driver to the managing director of it. So we are concerned about it. We told them this is unacceptable. Now, presently, I think, let me give you some statistics. They have 563 Liberians who are all contractors, but not even directly with them. They outsource the employment opportunity to a third party. That party will employ Liberians and then loan the Liberians to them as contractors. So in other words, there is no guarantee for Liberian workers in the Western Cluster workspace. This is unacceptable. We told them you have a 25 years. If you concession your employment opportunity, that means you do not want to carry out any social responsibility. In the concession agreement, there are social responsibilities. You are supposed to build schools for the community, have opportunity of hospital for the workers, So as it stands right now, they have no responsibility. They have somebody who employs and give them someone to work, and the party will give the party 3-month contract because they too do not want to shoulder any responsibility. So at the end of 3 months or 6 months, if your contract has expired, so you gotta go. Then we'll bring different people and make them new employees. This is unacceptable. We've spoken to them, and we let the Bureau of Concession to join us in making this noise. It's because it's justified that you cannot have a concession. They are taking our natural resources that will not be replaced, and then Liberians are not benefiting from it. So we think all of us want to talk about it. We are speaking about it because we are from the Ministry of Labor. We are concerned that Liberians should be given fair opportunity in these areas, in these concession areas. We want to create jobs. But if we want to create jobs, we can't look at these. This is not the way you create jobs. Jobs for Liberians should in the long run, give them some benefits. There should be some social obligation or that will be performed by the concession so that the local people will benefit from it. That is not the case right now with the Western cluster. And we've spoken to them very strongly. You have to convert these Liberians into permanent employees, and that if you want to work in Liberia, this is the recommendation we want to make. If we want to raise the issue, the cabinet will do that. But we have to start with them. I think it's fair. I mean, we are not saying anything that sounds so difficult. If you want to work here, this is the way you want to work. Employ Liberians. You still have an opportunity to employ some foreigners, but you can't take their 2 Liberians in a whole concession area and then hire all the other one just a short contract because you do not want them to have any benefit thereafter. So again, like I said, our conversations with these concessions continue. We are going in the next day or 2. We'll be in Bassa. There are a couple of companies that are operating in Bassa. We'll be looking at the outreach problem too. We want to believe that at the end of this tour, we want to increase. We'll be able to give you statistics as to how many jobs we are being able to create as a result of this presentation. We're doing that. We have, along with our Assistant Minister for Statistics, and he is taking every data that we need so that at the end of the day we want to check, and then have after our assessment tour, we will have a small team that will go by to just check on those recommendations we are making to see whether they are in compliance. If they are not in compliance, we take this at another level. But we think they should listen to us because we think this is a fair decision that we are making. It's in the interest of our people, and they should comply. We encourage them to comply because this is important. So I want to, because we have not covered everything, I don't want to go beyond this, but a few of the information we thought it was important to share this with the public, and that, especially for our press. And it's important that these are programs that the government has. This is in the interest of the arrest agenda. That's what we're working on. And we elect the president to join us. We let's talk about these things. That those are ills of society. When you have concession in your country, they decide to employ just put people on short contract because they do not want to take any social responsibility in the area of their concession. This is very, very important. We got to talk about it, and we'll show, we will get our words here that we will follow up on these things. We're not going to just talk about it and leave. Okay? But I'd like to just close my presentation with some of the I don't want to respond directly per se, but there was OKFM station today. They have carried out some talk show to say that we are trying to overturn some union election that were held at the APM terminal. Those information are not right. I think we do quasi-judicial function at the Ministry of Labor. For example, we have a division called Labor Standard. If there is an unfair labor treatment against any workers from the private sector, you come to us, we have those people to investigate. Decision they make is appealable to the labor court, and from there is appealable also to the Supreme Court. So it's the same thing like with the union organization. When they have problems, when they had an election, and one of the parties filed a complaint that people participated in election who were not supposed to participate. That matter was heard by the Assistant Minister for Trade Union Affairs, and the same party was not satisfied. They appealed to the office of the minister. But that matter has not been heard. We are not sat on the matter. Yet somebody want to raise it and say we want to just overturn. No, we do not. We as a lawyer, one thing we want to do is to give people opportunity to be heard. Due process is very essential. So this information to the public today wasn't fair. But again, we look forward to our continuous engagement with the press. We're always available. I want to thank the Ministry of Information. I think the exercise of coming here on a weekly basis to inform the public is very important. And because sometimes people make a lot of assumptions. If the people are not informed by the proper party, they are likely to make assumptions, to make statements, to give information to the press that may not be correct. So we look forward to our continued cooperation with the ministry and also with the press. Thank you very much.
Guys, that was a voice of Honorable Kwa. Thank you.